Let's talk about your school-wide teaching matrix, what it actually is, and why it's worth building well. When people hear behavior matrix, they usually picture a poster on the wall. But this is something bigger. This is a tool your whole staff and student body actively use, not a document that quietly hangs in the hallway. It gives every student and adult the same language around what success looks like in every setting. And it's a framework you teach, model, and reinforce every day. It's not something you unveil once and forget. By the end of this process, you won't just have a poster, you'll have a whole system that your school teaches, reinforces, and lives by. When you look at this quote and think through the different elements of it, it's easy to see the difference of when we teach compared to how we handle behavior. So, for example, in academics, if a student is struggling with a concept, we usually teach and we reteach and we try multiple different strategies. Same with sports or athletics. If a student is struggling with making a free shot or with an element of the game, we practice, we give them one on one time, we work with them. However, if a student is struggling in the area of behavior, do we give it that same attention to teach it or do we go straight to punishment? That is where I want you to think about the matrix coming in as a tool for your school. The goal of the school-wide teaching matrix is to help students to see what success looks like behaviorally. And it's going to provide you with a tool to teach behavior so that you can answer that bottom question the same as the rest. A behavior matrix builds belonging, safety, and stronger relationships between students and staff. It reinforces that growth mindset, celebrates success, and keeps everyone focused on learning. That's the culture we're building here, and the matrix is how we build it on purpose instead of by accident. It helps us act together with clarity, so every student, staff member, and visitor in the school feels valued, known, and a part of that school community. So, what is the teaching matrix exactly? It defines your school's mission and vision, and it gives everyone a common language. It has three major parts: norms, the broad values that your school stands for; locations, the areas where the contextually inappropriate behavior tends to happen most; and skills, the specific, positively stated behaviors you want to see from every student in every one of those locations. It also aligns to your school's own data and sends a clear, positive message to families and community partners. In short, a school-wide teaching matrix designs our setting and follow through so the actions we value become the behaviors we consistently see and encourage. It is your teaching tool. Here's an example. This school built their norms straight from their values. When they said respect mattered, respect became a norm students see and hear every day. This B-themed matrix shows what strong visuals can do and how one matrix can cover several locations at once: hallway, cafeteria, playground, and more. Notice how every skill here is positively stated. It tells students what to do instead of being a rule that seems like what to not do. That language makes a big difference when you are teaching behavior. And for accessibility, some schools post just one piece of the matrix in each location, so students see only what's relevant to where they're standing. So that is the foundation. The next thing you'll start to do is you're going to start building that first place and looking at those norms within your school. You know what a school-wide teaching matrix really is, why it matters, and what makes it strong. Remember, the goal is not to create a matrix that is perfect or is all encompassing. The goal is to create a matrix that is directly aligned to your school's mission and values. You want this to help shape the culture and the climate of your school. So really dig deep when you're thinking about those norms and the behavior skills you want to see to set students up for success.